Happy Thursday. Let me know down here in the chat if you can hear me, if everything is coming through all right. Hope everybody's having a great day today. It's Thursday, which means for those of you that are working, you got one more day of work for the weekend. For those of you that are retired, it's another Saturday. And for those of us self-employed, it's today. So hope everybody's doing good tonight. So let me know down here in the chat where you're watching from. Type in here. Lynn, I know you're in here. Everything coming through okay? Can you hear me okay? That's one thing about these lives. You cannot tell if the video is coming through, if the audio is coming through. But hopefully it is. So before we get into the questions and answers, Saturday, I finally got my bread video figured out, or my bread recipe figured out, and the video is done. I uploaded it to YouTube today. So it'll be coming out on Saturday. So the cool thing about this, it uses all ingredients you can get in the grocery store. There's no weird ingredients you have to buy. The weirdest thing you might have to get is psyllium husk powder. So if you don't know where that's at in the grocery store, if you go to where the laxatives are, and I hate to say that, but where the Metamucil is psyllium husk fiber, and it's usually got an orange flavor. So most grocery stores will carry it without the orange flavor. So an unflavored psyllium husk powder. So, hey, Mary, can hear you great. Awesome. Awesome. So I've been working on this bread for like a year now, and I finally got it right. There's a couple different variations, and I'll just tell those of you that are here on the live, you can use 1 stick of butter or 2 sticks of butter. So depending on what you want to do, if you're going to make a bread that you're going to make Reubens with, or French toast or things like that, I added 2 sticks of butter in there. And what that'll allow you to do is you don't have to put any kind of butter on the outside of it. You can just put it right in the pan with like a grilled cheese or French toast or whatever you want to do. And it's going to cook because it's really, really moist. But if you want more of a sandwich bread, you just add in 1 stick of butter. So that's kind of my variation on this recipe. I've tried it both ways. And for the most part, we like Reubens and French toast, grilled cheese, things like that. So we added in 2 sticks of butter. I actually tried it in the toaster. It works perfect in the toaster, but I will say if you're going to do it in the toaster, just watch out because it's going to bubble up. And if you've got like the heat plates on the side, it's probably okay, but I would recommend using a toaster oven for things like that. So, hey, Wallflower says, hey, made it to my first live. Awesome. Well, welcome. And if y'all got any questions, go ahead and ask away. I was just going to kind of tell you what's going on with the channel a little bit. I did a poll today of what kind of videos that y'all like. And the biggest thing was keto dinners, then keto desserts, and then keto sauces. And then like the last one was these lives. So probably what I'm going to do, instead of doing these every week like I'd planned to do, I'm probably going to go to the first Thursday of every month. I'm going to do a live Q&A. You can ask anything from like how to make different recipes keto, or if you want to send me some things in advance that you want to ask, I'll answer whatever you got. Questions about the keto diet itself or low carb lifestyle or anything like that. So I'm probably going to do that just once a month. I had a lot of people email me this week like, hey, I missed it. Is there any way you could do it later? Is there any way you could do it a different day? So what I'm planning on doing is maybe the first Thursday of every month is doing this live. That way people can kind of plan to do it. If you want to be here, you can kind of plan around it. I don't want to put anybody out like, I know everybody's super busy. And so if you'd rather see videos that you can watch on your own time, that's kind of seems like what most people are saying. And so that's what I want to do. So my plan going forward is maybe Tuesdays, I'm going to do like a keto dinner recipe. Thursdays, I'll do either like a keto drink or a keto sauce or something like that. And then Saturdays, I'll do a dessert or maybe like this coming Saturday, if I got something that I'm really, really happy and excited about, like this keto bread, maybe I'll do that on Saturdays, where more people have a chance to watch it over the weekend and things. So, Lynn says, "Oh no, we're gonna, we're all gonna die with all that fat." Yes, love my butter. Bring it on. Yeah, somebody made that comment the other day about yeah, too much butter, too many calories. I mean, if you're doing keto or low carb, you really don't have to. Your body's going to tell you when it's time to stop. So, you know, the more people I get that are subscribing to my channel, and the more that YouTube's kind of pushing these videos out, the more kind of crazy comments I get. So, but I love it. I mean, bring it on. Hopefully somebody learns a little something off of it. So I enjoy it. And hopefully, somebody will learn a little something anyway. Bryant, Oscar, Victor, I made my first live also from Brookhaven, Mississippi. Hey, you're down from the dirty South like I am. Hey, welcome. Glad you made it here live. Sav says I made it to first live also. So, hey, y'all welcome. And yeah, feel free to ask any kind of question you want. There's only like 1 million people watching right now. So, hey, no pressure. If there was 1 million people watching, man, I'd be ecstatic. But, but yeah, y'all like this video and share it too if you know somebody that might help. The more people, we're the only ones that are going to be able to bring this out and share it with people, because the powers that be sure ain't going to do it. Wallflower, I'm looking forward to making your chocolate chip pizza thingy tomorrow. Yeah, so hopefully y'all have made this chocolate chip pizza or are planning to, because it's awesome. I mean, I made it again the other night, and I kind of been working on it. I used to make it all the time when I wasn't back on keto, a few years back, and I used to make it all the time. And I'd take it to parties and stuff, and people loved it. And my son the other day kind of remembers when I made it and when it wasn't low carb. And it's keto if you eat like a quarter of it, like I was saying. But you just got to know your macros and what you can do as far as carbs go, to whether it's keto or not for you. I could do a whole one and it'd be fine for me, but I just couldn't, because I mean, it's sweet enough that it kind of self limits itself. Like I can't eat more than a quarter of the thing. And that's good, because I can make it, and then I got enough for 4 nights if I want it for 4 nights. Or, I'll make, like that recipe makes 2 of them. So, I got plenty, and it does freeze good also. Oh, yes. 22 QCat, I appreciate you coordinated your orange cup with your orange shirt. Absolutely. Hey, it's almost football season. These Clemson Tigers hopefully going to do something. But if any of you are football fans, they're playing Georgia the first game. So it's like make or break for us. We're either going to get real embarrassed or we're going to come out looking like national champions. So who knows? That's the fun thing about the football season. So thank you, Lynn. I always try to coordinate a little bit. Any tips for breading fish? Tried today with egg wash and dipped in panko, but it about all fell off. So did you try I guess you tried my recipe and it fell off. I would say if it's falling off a little bit, add a little bit more Parmesan to it. When you dip it in the egg wash, let it drain for just a minute. You don't want it to be like soppy wet or anything. Just make sure that it's, just enough to where the pork panko and the Parmesan cheese will stick to it. And that should be fine. You can also bake it if you're having a problem with it. And it's kind of hard doing this keto channel, because a lot of people in different altitudes. I don't know where you're from, but a lot of people from different altitudes and things have different cooking times or different temperatures you got to use. So, I always try, if you'll let me know where you're from, I'll always try to kind of help you adapt it to wherever you're from. Because like higher altitudes, you got to use a higher temperature and maybe a lower cooking time, or maybe the same cooking time, but just a higher temperature. So it's kind of all about adapting. But I would say if it is, if the egg wash and panko is falling off, I would say just let it drain just a little bit more, and maybe add a little Parmesan or a little extra Parmesan in there with it. Kayla or Kaylia, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hello from North Texas. How you doing down there? So, yeah, any of these breadings, you can try it with different. So, the okra recipe, the fish recipe, the fried green tomato recipe. The fried green tomato recipe will work for fish also if you want to bake it. I tried to do the fried green tomatoes because a lot of people were like, well, I don't want to deep fry. And for various reasons, I mean, hey, I can tell you after doing those videos, it's expensive to deep fry right now. The olive oil prices have gone crazy, which is what I like to use. Avocado oil prices have been crazy for a while. So it was like 15 bucks worth of oil in the deep fryer. So you could also try using that fried green tomato and doing the fish in that as well. I think that'll work just fine. Hey, Amy, my neighbor to the north, North Carolina, come on, raise up. Sav, Ohio, yes. Think everything got too wet. Yeah, so yeah, I would say just let it. I wouldn't say drain it, but just kind of dip it in, hold it up, and make sure there's nothing dripping once you get in. And the Parmesan always helps, and you could always try baking it also, like the fried green tomatoes. That'll work good for you too. Mark, when I make bread, it always turns out rubbery. Why is that? From Minnesota. Hey, up there in Minnesota. Mark, are you using like an egg white powder bread recipe? Let me know in the comments. Brian Oscar says, can you use buttermilk instead of egg to make the keto breading stick? And can it still be keto? Yeah, you can. That's another thing about using knowing your macros and what you can do as far as carbs. Buttermilk's not extremely high, and for the amount that sticks on it, I would say it would be fine. I just always, when I do a recipe, I always try to do the lowest carb option that I possibly can. And so I do the eggs instead. I mean, traditionally in the South, we bread everything with buttermilk. I mean, we'll soak the cube steak in buttermilk for 2 days before we make cube steak. So I think that would be fine because of the amount. I mean, you're getting a tiny amount of it, but again, I just try to, when I can, make the lowest carb option as possible on the videos, just for people that want to keep the carbs as low as possible. And anybody that has a little more flexibility, kind of like I do, you could definitely substitute something like buttermilk for it, and it would work fine. Or egg and buttermilk combined. That's another thing we do here. Mark, yes, I use egg white powder. So it's one of those things, man. I'm one of the bad things about these keto breads, and a lot of them that had come out over the years, are these egg white powder breads, and unfortunately, the majority of them, I would say, and I've tried probably 6 or 7 different recipes of those egg white powder breads, and to me, every single one of them is like memory foam. The only one that I've tried is Chris Cooking Nashville's. If you try that and you still get that kind of texture, his has been the best one that I've found so far. And he's a friend of mine, I would say that, but I think he's the most creative one out there, and he really understands kind of the chemistry behind it. And I thought his was really good, and I've made his buns, also the carnivore buns, which I did a Big Mac on, and I think he's got the concept down. But if you don't make his, in my opinion, there's no way you're not going to have like a foam mattress type taste or feel. I mean, to me, those things are like tasteless. The breads are. And so that's why I've had such a problem when I've been trying to come up with a bread recipe. And really, I mean, I've never really liked those white sandwich bread type things anyway. I grew up eating like a whole wheat bread, or like the artisan breads that you get at the farmer's market, where people handmade them, and they were just I mean, it was a totally different world of flavor and everything. the sandwich breads to me have always been kind of tasteless. And although I did grow up eating them like with ham sandwiches, because it was cheaper, but most of the times in my house we had the wheat bread or whatever. Um, and a lot of times, because my mom used Miracle Whip, I'd end up trading one of mine to a buddy of mine who'd have like the white bread with Duke's mayonnaise, and I mean Duke's, you just can't beat Duke's. But so when I tried to come up with my bread recipe, I wanted something that was like that, or like an Ezekiel bread, or just something like a good artisan bread that's got some flavor and everything, that wasn't like styrofoam, that was like a real bread. And so that's why it took me like a year to come up, probably more than a year, really. I mean, it took a while to come up with a bread. But I really don't have a good solution for it. I've tried different things like adding in, cream of tartar to some of these, or adding in a little xanthan gum, taking out some of the egg white powder. I've kind of experimented with some of those basic bread recipes, and it does just have a rubbery texture, in my opinion. And then there's some out there that people have said are really good, but I have a hard time going out and buying 5 different ingredients that I don't have on hand to make a bread out of. And I'm sure they're all good. And, if anybody's got any suggestions, just leave it down there in the comments. If you've tried a good keto bread, especially a white bread, I haven't found a bread that's as good as the one that I made that's coming out Saturday. And I'm not saying that to brag. It's just I've taken so much time experimenting with it and trying to get it right. I really believe it's the best keto bread out there, but it ain't a white bread. So that might take me years. If y'all want me to make a white bread, it might take me years to come up with one that's not, like a piece of foam. But hey, I'll try it. I know people love that. So hey, I'll give it a shot if y'all want. Let's see. Ex Tina, hey there. How you doing? And Kathy, hey from Missouri. Hey. Can we say a before keto pick? Yeah, I'm gonna do a I don't know if you want to see that or not, but yeah, I'll do it. I'm probably gonna do another, like I did a keto in the car, I think it was, or maybe just a regular video. I can't remember, but I did one that kind of told my story about the high blood pressure and everything like that. But I'm going to do a new video, kind of with all the health things that I had going on and some before and after pictures and things like that. My wife showed me a picture the other day, and I'm like, holy crap, was I poking my belly out, or did I have like a basketball up under there? Or I said, I'm pretty sure I was. She's like, no, that's the way it was. And I'm like, man, but yeah, I could definitely show you some pictures. We took one on vacation, and she had a picture come up in like our memories or whatever on Facebook from like 5 years ago. And it was like night and day. And she's, we were both kind of like, man, because you really don't notice. I mean, like, you're in the process of living and you don't realize, especially if you don't have any issues, until you go to the doctor and figure out your blood pressure is dangerously high to you dying. You really don't realize you have any issues, or you just get used to the way you look or whatever. But man, when you see one from like 5 years ago compared to today, it's a night and day difference. So I'll make sure and put that in one of the coming up videos. I really want to do kind of a story video, because now that I've got more people, I mean, when I did that video, nobody really cared. Nobody was watching the channel, and I was just trying to help as many people as I could, and just put as much information out there as I could, and hoping it would help. If it helped 5 or 10 people, which is still my goal. I mean, if somebody's watching this tonight and this helps you get on track, this helps you, meet one of your health goals, or lower your blood pressure, lose some weight, whatever it is that you want to do, I've done my part. I mean, this is what I'm here to do. I want to help people. And, but I feel like now I've got more of an audience watching. And so I need to go back and do another video, about kind of my health journey, and how that this lifestyle and eating the foods that you like but making them keto can help you. And, you know, again, some people may need carnivore. Some people may need to be a little stricter, even for just a little while, depending on how long your health has been bad or what kind of health conditions you have. You may need to go a little bit longer before you just go down. But, you know, at the least, my foods could be like a gateway to carnivore if you know, if you need that to have the same things as you want. But for me, I mean, the way that I eat now and the videos I put out are the way I ate to fix all my health conditions. But again, everybody's kind of on one end of the spectrum. There's the lion diet type of carnivore, and there's like dirty, lazy keto, and most people are somewhere in the middle. And I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, leaning more towards the dirty keto style. But you know, everybody's different. But yeah, I will post some pictures, some before and after stuff, and so you can see what happened. And I really want to do another video like that. So thanks for pushing me to do that. And that's just reinforcement that I do need to do it. So hopefully it'll help somebody. Oh, and Kathy, you're 75 pounds down as well, because that's what I lost. Wasn't the reason I was trying to do it, but it was a welcome side effect to me fixing my high blood pressure and psoriasis and joint pain, inflammation, all these kind of things that I had. You know, the unfortunate side effect was losing 75 pounds. So I'm pretty glad about that too. Hey, Janice, how you doing? It's good to see you here. Hey again, Xtina. Lynn, I probably wasted about $500 in ingredients trying to make a keto bread that tastes good. I'm exaggerating, but it's been a little frustrating. I mean, you can get it down in the weeds on all these ingredients, these fibers, and I think I said in this video, like ground up unicorn horns and Care Bear fur, and you know, I mean, you can really get in the weeds with some of these keto breads, and then at the end of the day, it's never going to be bread. But I really feel like that mine is as close as I've been to a regular good bread, not a sandwich bread again, but like an artisan bread. Like if you would go to the farmer's market and find people that bake breads and you're like, man, this is the best bread I've had. I feel like that mine's the best texture, flavor. I mean, it pulls, it'll toast, all those things. And I show you in the video how they come up. But yeah, I've wasted a bunch of money on ingredients for all kind of things. But bread has always been my frustration, and especially the sandwich breads. You know, some of them use the egg white powder, and then somebody would come out one and say, oh, well, the whole egg white powder, you got to add that in too. It makes a difference. I mean, if somebody finds one, please let me know, other than Chris's. Chris's is great. But I did not find one until that one that I liked at all. As far as a white bread recipe, to me, they were all just the same, just like foam. So, let's see. But yeah, Lynn, it is frustrating. It's hard, you know, and it's not as bad as trying to make a burger. You know, like if you're vegan and you're trying to make a burger, it just ain't gonna happen. This is at least a little easier, trying to get close to a vessel-like bread. But I mean, I haven't quite found the perfect one yet, other than, like I said, Chris's is pretty good. And it doesn't, to me, it wasn't like the styrofoam, but you can spend a lot of money on ingredients. And hey, Patty, and Patty says, hey, everyone. Xtina, I absolutely love your channel. Well, I appreciate that. I was hoping when I started this channel that some people would like the same kind of foods that I did and stuff. And I just wanted to share with you what I'm doing. And, you know, I'm just taking foods that I love and foods like standard American diet and trying to make them a lot healthier for folks. And I really want to make that lemon dessert with the pecan crust. I bought all the stuff. Hey, y'all let me know in the comments how many people have made that lemon dessert. And if it was the first video that you ever saw of mine, let me know that too. It's still my most popular one to date. And I mean, we make that dessert probably every other week at least. I do a lot of experimenting, trying to come up with new dessert stuff. Um, that was my wife's recipe, and I mean, she's like, "You need to make this," because she ain't gonna go on camera. Look, y'all see her nails and stuff. I can show you this right now. These are my nails. They're just regular old nails. So when you see it, I had somebody unsubscribe the other day because I was painting my nails. But anyway, she don't want to get on camera. That's not something she's interested in. So she told me to make that thing, and she's like, "You can do it." And I've never really been a baker, and all these other ones I'm coming up with are based on principles of just following baking directions, like standard American diet baking directions. But I know the ratios of keto stuff I need to use, and I'll experiment a little bit and things like that. But she's like, "You can definitely make this," and she always made it for me, and she's like, "You can definitely do it." So anyway, that's how that all came about. But that lemon dessert is killer, and you can make the strawberry one. I made a strawberry one too. So you can do any of that. So Lori says, "Hello from Colorado." Hey, over there. I bet it's a little cooler there than it is here for sure in South Carolina. Xtina said, "Definitely dirty." Yeah. Hey, the main thing with keto is carbs. I mean, you can be as clean or as dirty as you want. It all comes down to the carbs. But some people just can't have certain ingredients. Some people can't have nut flours, which is another thing with my bread video. There's no almond flour in it, and it's all ingredients that you can get at the grocery store. So had a lot of people, and any of my desserts that you find that have almond flour, you can always substitute sunflower seeds. You can crush up sunflower seeds and make a flour, or buy sunflower seed powder. If you can have that, you can always exchange any of those. I just like almond flour. I like the feel of it. It doesn't bother me. Some people can't do it because of oxalates or whatever. But anything that I have with almond flour in it, you can substitute sunflower seeds and just grind it up into a flour. Laura says the lemon dessert is the best. Thank you. Yes, we love it. Julie, late to the party. I hope I haven't missed too much. Hey, I'll be here for as long as y'all keep asking questions or talking. So, well, I can't say that. I got to go to bed at some point. I worked all day today. I had a job, and hey, if you think the hospital is not making money, and anybody local here, just cover your eyes and cover your ears. But I did a job today. If y'all don't know, I have a pressure washing business. But I did a job for a local hospital, and they have 8 homes that they own that are for doctors that come in when they need doctors to come in from out of state or out of town or whatever, because we have a shortage of doctors because there's so many people getting sick over the fall and winter. And so I clean these up for them before the doctors come in to take the overflow of people with pretty much a lot of preventable diseases. So they're making some money there. Hey, Paula. Paula says you're such a great inspiration for everyone to do as best they can. And that's the thing. You don't have to go all in the beginning. If if you're thinking about starting keto, if you're new to keto, if you're like, well, I just, start with one little thing. Start with cutting out all the stuff with sugar and replace it. If you're baking, just a simple swap is just replacing a recipe you have. It's got sugar in it, and replace it with that Magic Bakers or whatever a good sweetener is. Don't use the regular Splenda or anything that's got maltodextrin. Always look for that, because a lot of them use maltodextrin in there, which is going to spike your blood sugar worse than sugar will. But like a Magic Baker's blend, something with erythritol, start with substituting something like that. Just take small steps at a time, and you can get there. But it's making little changes. A lot of little changes over time equal huge changes. So you just got to start where you're at and go as slow as you need to get there eventually. Roman meal bread was the rest, but they don't make it in our area anymore, Kathy says. Yeah. Oh, I remember that Roman meal. Yeah, I don't know if they still make that or not. I haven't seen it in any grocery store. I always look through all the bread aisles to see if anybody comes out with a new keto bread. Nature's Own has one, and a lot of the other ones have keto breads now, and I always look through there. But yeah, Roman Mill is a big one. Actually, I always try to get my mom to try that one. She wouldn't do it. She always liked that wheat Nature's Own bread. So, let's see. Paula says, please, no bamboo fiber is so crazy expensive. Yeah, I don't. Everything in my bread recipe is stuff you can find in your grocery store. Like I said, the only thing you might have a little trouble finding in your grocery store is psyllium husk. But go to your where the fibers are, the metamucils and everything. And most of the time they have an unflavored metamucil knockoff. And that's just psyllium husk powder. And that's what I use in there. It basically makes it like a gluten, but it's gluten-free. It's a gluten-free bread, but that psyllium in there really makes a difference. And that was kind of what I've been experimenting with for a while, trying to get the right amount for that bread. Let's see. So yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about any crazy ingredients you got to order. If you have to order anything, it'll be psyllium husk. And if you can't find it at your grocery store, go ahead and order you some now, because that's going to be in that recipe. But everything else you can find in the grocery store easily. Let's see. Xtina, I have not tried to make bread. Luckily for me, Hero Bread's a Cali company, and they're making their way into our Oregon grocery stores. I can get their sliced bread, buns, and Hawaiian bread. Yeah, I actually picked up some Hero Bread the other day. It's, crazy expensive. Like our Publix has, it was like $10 for a loaf of bread. And we don't do a whole lot of keto breads. I usually will get some and take out 5-6 pieces and freeze the rest for a little while. But last week, a few people have recommended this Hero Bread. So our Publix had it on sale, buy one, get one free. So I figured I'd give it a shot. So I kept out a couple pieces. We'll try to make a grilled cheese out of it or something and just give it a shot. And I froze the rest of it. So kind of excited to try that one. The best one I found so far is that Lewis, like I use in the cream chip beef. To me, because I always try them, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I probably got 4 or 5 different frozen partial loaves of bread in my freezer still, where I'll buy these keto breads and try them. And there's just that Lewis I really like. And they get the King Hawaiian buns, King Hawaiian bread. They got this 5 grain, which I think has like 1 gram of carbs per slice. But it's really good. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to check this Hero Bread out. But golly, over here in the Southeast, that stuff's expensive. That explains if they're from California. They got to ship it a long way, especially where most people here ain't not too interested in keto. So, add tortillas for a minute. Can't find them anywhere. Lori says, I think lemon was the first recipe I tried. And wow, we have it a lot. Yeah, we love it. And love it with lime too. I'm going to do a key lime pie coming up as well. A different recipe. But we made one about 2 weeks ago or so. I just got to do a video of it. We ate it up so fast. I didn't record it because we just kind of tried it just to see how it would do. 22 Q Cat Lynn says, oh my gosh, everyone needs to make that lemon dessert. It's delicious even without the yellow bowl. I don't know how it could be delicious without that yellow bowl. I'm just saying. No, we love it. A lot of times my yellow bowl is dirty. I make sure it's always clean for my videos, but 9 times out of 10 it's dirty because it's my favorite for real. And anyway, if y'all don't know the story of the yellow bowl, go back and watch my old biscuits and gravy, keto biscuits and gravy recipe, and there's the story of the yellow bowl for you. It's pretty funny. In fact, my sister-in-law was in town not too long ago, and she didn't even notice. Made the lemon dessert, but I must have done something wrong because it was too soft and did not firm up. Mary, did you freeze it first for a couple hours and then thaw it out? That's what we found works the best, although we can kind of eat it before. The only other thing I could think of is maybe did you over whip it to begin with. But let me know if you froze it or not. That could, for some reason, it does something when you freeze it for those couple hours and then thaw it back out. Kind of changes the consistency. I'm not sure. I probably need to go back and take some science classes so I know for sure. But Paula says, don't remember first video. I'd have to go back over 18,000 people ago. Yeah, you've been around for a long time, since the beginning, back when it was, I think you were around when it was your Best Body Blueprint still, when I had my health coaching that I was doing on the side, and I decided to do a YouTube channel when I first started, just to kind of put out videos. My plan was to kind of supplement my health coaching with these videos, so I could say, hey, go watch this video. This is going to tell you what you need to do for this and this. And it just kind of evolved in, and me wanting to do recipes. And so it just kind of totally changed. And then when I went on YouTube to search for Southern Keto and saw that nobody had it, I'm like, that's it, Southern Keto. Because everybody's like, what in the world is your Best Body Blueprint even mean? And nobody was clicking on stuff. So anyway, I think Southern Keto is a little better. I mean, I'm pretty Southern, I'd say. Oscar says, I'm diabetic and the sourdough bread is supposed to be the best bread for diabetics. I would say that no bread is good for diabetics, in my opinion. Sourdough may be better, but bread, just like any other carb, is going to turn to sugar in your body. And if you're diabetic, you want to stay away from as much of that stuff as you possibly can. I would definitely, if you're at all, and look, I'm not the best baker in the world, but I experiment with stuff. And if you see me make a recipe, anybody can make that recipe. I'm just telling you. I make simple stuff. I was really a pretty good cook with standard American diet stuff, but going to keto, it's a totally different ball game. And I feel like that I've come along pretty far, and I experiment with a lot of stuff. I make sure that I get the recipes down before I put them out. And if you're diabetic, I'd really recommend trying this recipe. And if you're going to try any of the keto breads in the store, I'd definitely recommend checking your blood sugar an hour after you eat it and 2 hours after you eat it, just to see how it affects your blood sugar. Some of them are going to affect it just like regular bread does. So just be mindful of that. If you're diabetic, I'd definitely either try to stay away from the breads altogether, or minimize it, or try the keto bread. Definitely the one I'm coming out with. Amy said, everybody hit that like button. Yes, please. And share it. Share this with anybody you think it would help, that may be thinking about keto or is keto or anything. I think, like I said, a lot of these recipes, my son is not keto. And if he gives it a thumbs up, then I know I get a good recipe. And that's what I try to do, is always, if he's like, then I know I need to work on it a little more. Because I try to make recipes that if you take it to a cookout or you take it to a family gathering, that like people will say, unless you tell them up front, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's good. And that lemon dessert's a prime example of it. We had people come over and I got a bunch of flack when I did that lemon dessert video. Like, you didn't taste it, you didn't cut it, we didn't see what it looked like. Well, we had people over that night, and I was outside grilling and chilling out, talking to people and hanging out. And by the time I got inside, that thing was gone. and nobody that was here with us was keto. So, we have people come over. A lot of people will bring their own dishes, side dishes and stuff. And like, we'll always do the meat, but I'll always do like a dessert or something, and nobody can ever tell a difference in them. So that's when I know I got a winner. So I think that one's a winner. Let's see. I'm going to find that strawberry one too. Yep. Yes, out there. It kind of has about the same title, but I also did that one because a lot of people said that they couldn't do almond flour. And so I also made that one with a sunflower seed crust as well. And you can either do it as a flour or like I did it in the video. Wallflower says, come on, hit that like button for me. Yes. Yeah, the more likes y'all give me, the better. I really appreciate that. And YouTube will say, hey, y'all like this, and and it'll benefit some people. And like I said, going forward, what I'm going to try to do just for everybody's schedules, and I really appreciate y'all showing up here for me. It really means a lot to me. Going forward, I'm going to start doing the first Thursday of every month live. So you'll know 7:30 Eastern, whatever Pacific, 11, 4, 3, I don't even know. But anyway, Eastern time, 7:30. So y'all know the first Thursday of every month I'm going to do that. Joe said, looking for a beer batter type recipe, not a breading, no beer required. Love fish and chips type, a little malt vinegar and tartar sauce. Oh, man. Yeah. Joe, I really need to work on that because I love the beer battered fish myself, too. It's like real, it's like almost like a panko type batter with a beer breading. So I really need to work on that. This fall and winter, I'll have a lot more time because my business will slow down. So I got a lot more time to spend in the kitchen kind of experimenting and stuff. And yeah, definitely. I will work on that. I've already thought about a fish and chips video. I got a French fry one coming out soon with some French fries I'd found that somebody suggested, and I got that coming out soon. And that would be definitely what I use for the chips. But I got to get a different type of fish that's more like a beer batter and not more southern. And thank you, Wallflower. All the thumbs up. Amazon also has the psyllium husk powder if you can't find it anywhere else. Yeah. I actually bought mine off Amazon. I bought it a long time ago for a totally different recipe. And then I used it in that, the cottage cheese pie. I used it in there to make like a crust on top and bottom. So I didn't have to use any nuts or seeds or anything like that for the people who didn't want to use almond flour or sunflower seed powder. So that psyllium husk makes a real nice crust. Just if you got texture issues and you try that cottage cheese pie, use about half the amount of psyllium that I did. It's kind of not like a gel, but it's a different texture. And I know some people have the texture deals. So, but yeah, I ordered mine off Amazon. I'll put it in the description on that video if I can remember. Kathy says, Lewis Bake Shop seeded bread is the best off-the-shelf bread I've eaten. I can only find it in my IGA in North Carolina. It's so good, it can't be keto. They have hamburger and hot dog buns. Absolutely, I absolutely agree. And I found it. Somebody in one of my comments said something about that bread, and I'm like, well, I've never even heard of that. And the only place I can find it here, we've got a little grocery store called Quality Foods, and it's just like a super regional, like it's in upstate South Carolina, northeast Georgia, and maybe a little corner of North Carolina. And so I went to their website and just looked where I can buy it near me. And that popped up, and I'd never even been in that grocery store before because it just looked kind of sketchy to me from the outside and kind of not the best area of town. So I'd never been in there, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to go give it a shot. And that is the best, in my opinion, one that you can buy off the shelf that I've tried so far. So I'll let y'all know about that hero bread when I try it, but it'll probably be a little bit before I try it because I still got a little bit of that Lewis left over. Laura says, I can't wait to try that cream chip beef. That cream chip beef is a good recipe. And if for nothing else, just watch the first few seconds of that video and watch me toss that bread into the toaster. Because that was a lot of work to get that bread in that toaster like what I did. But I thought it'd be fun to do anyway. I try to make those videos entertaining anyway, if nothing else. Make breadcrumbs from all that fail bread. Yeah. You got to do something with it for real. I tried making making some of those white breads, the keto white breads. I tried making them into croutons. They wouldn't even work for that. And I'm like, man, this stuff's rough. If you can't toast it, I mean, what are we even doing here? Just don't even try the bread at all. I don't know. Hero bread's double the price online. It's about $10 in the store here too. Yep, and the yellow bowl is a must. I love having fun with that yellow bowl, and a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, that hero bread was just super expensive. So, like I say, I'm all about finding deals. So if you can find it, buy one get one free, and it's good, definitely try it. Like I said, that's the only reason I bought it. I wasn't gonna pay $10 for a loaf of white bread I didn't know would be good or not. But since Publix had it buy one get one free, I figured I'd give it a shot, and hopefully it's good. I feel like it will be. I've heard a lot of people say good things about it, and I think the most popular things like that croissant, right? I think I've seen people liking that croissant. And Laura says we eat it frozen too. Tastes like ice cream. Oh yeah, the lemon dessert. Yes. Yeah, you can take it out from frozen, just let it thaw a few minutes, and yeah, it's like a gelato type thing too. We do that a lot too, because a lot of times I don't have the patience to sit there and let it thaw all the way, so I just start digging into it. Just quiet. Yeah, quiet back in the day. Yes, it was. Oh, hey Debbie, welcome. Hey, better late than never, right? I'm glad you made it. I know you got a lot going on, so. I got Hero tortillas at Thrive Market for $6.99 yesterday. Julie said, so that's a pretty good deal from what I've seen. Because I haven't really priced the tortillas. I mean, the ones I love are those ones from Aldi, and I have not found a tortilla that's that good. So I don't really try a lot of tortillas once I found that one, because I tried those Mission ones. I tried the car. There's all kind of different low carb or high protein with a lot of fiber in them. And I just haven't found anything like those Carb Manager ones from Aldi. So I really don't try a whole lot. But yeah, if the Hero ones are good, $6.99 sounds like a good deal. Bryant says you need to publish a keto cookbook. Yes, Bryant, that's in my plans for next year. It seems like things are going pretty good. The channel's growing pretty good. And the more time I have, the more time I'll have to come, because a cookbook is a lot of work. Kind of like the videos. People don't even realize, for like a video I do, my normal videos are probably 10 or 12 minutes long. And between the filming, the editing, and all that, it's probably 10 or 12 hours worth of work in all, just to do one video. And I try to do 2 to 3 a week. I'm probably going to do 3 a week. I'm probably going to do the dinner ones on, and some of them are not that long. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of times if you have to keep experimenting to get a recipe right, it could take even more time than that, just trying to get it down. That bread recipe, getting the bread right and recording the video and all that, I mean, I probably got a week's worth of work into that in all, between all the different variations I try to experiment to get it right and all that. And so it's a lot of work to do it, but I love it. I really enjoy putting the videos out, and especially when y'all give me the comments and let me know I'm heading in the right direction. It's awesome. But yeah, if it keeps going like it is now, hopefully next year I'll be able to do a cookbook. And really want to do like an ebook style or something like that, or maybe a pay. Y'all let me know if you'd rather have like an ebook style or a hard copy or whatever, and that'll help me know what I need to do. But yeah, I hope to do that next year sometime. That's the plan anyway. Joe says, Bryant, 7 years, type 2 diabetes in remission, no breads are good for diabetics. Yep. Joe, Joe's got a killer pizza recipe that he shared with me one time, and I made that in my first air fryer, that Tyfer air fryer video. I did Joe's sausage crust pizza, and it is awesome. I do that one a good bit too. And yeah, I appreciate Joe sharing that. Joe's been around for a long time too, since the Best Body Blueprint days. Jan says, I love your lamp in the background. Yes, thank you. I love that little thing. It goes through several different colors and stuff, and I thought it was a really cool design, so I had to get it. And I got my little, yeah, my keto food pyramid up there, all my my library of books over there. So I read a lot of stuff. So I always like to read. I try to do a book a book a week if I can, at least. So let's see. Nextina, make sure you smash that like. Yes, thank you. Yeah, y'all hit that like button for me and share this if you know anybody you think it might help. There you go, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, my math skills are not great, so you know why it takes me so long to come up with a recipe. 4:30 Pacific. So yeah, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. There we go. I should know that from football because that's always, they always have the football games in Pacific time too. But you can buy a whole psyllium husk and grind it up in a coffee grinder, Lori said. Yeah. Yep. You could do that too. Julie says, Miracle Whip, please. Yes. I've actually made one. I just hadn't had time to do the video because my mother, we grew up on Miracle Whip. I've told this story before. I think I actually did it earlier in this kind of briefly, but when we were growing up, my mom, which she was from down south, so how she came up with this, I have no idea, but she loved Miracle Whip. And so that's what we always had in the house. So she'd make me a sandwich to take to school, and I would trade it to people that's moms use Dukes, which just about everybody down here does. And so I'd trade my ham sandwich for a turkey sandwich or another ham sandwich that had Dukes. But I made one for her, and she loved it. She's like, it tastes just like the Miracle Whip. I just hadn't had time to get around to it. So I'm doing a Hellman's and a Miracle Whip. And so hopefully those will be coming out sometime in the near future. And so we'll get that. French fry recipe. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I use this French fry recipe that somebody told me about that's online. And I did it 2 different ways just to see which way came out better. And so I'll be putting that one out in the next couple of weeks too, because that was the biggest thing I was missing with hamburgers and things like that. And I tried a lot of tried to come up with one on my own, and I really just couldn't come up with anything good. I did come up with one that was pretty decent. I may still try to work on a little bit that uses, hang on, mine went blank. Not turnips. No, I did use turnips in that. Turnips was actually the way that it turned out the best, but I didn't like the taste of the turnips in it. So I may try like a celery root or something different and try to still come up with a different type of fry. But I just didn't have the best luck with it where I was happy with it. So I never put that out. Xtina says, yes, I got to try the Lewis. Hope we have it here. Yeah, if you just Google Lewis keto bread and pull up their website, they've got a locator on there where you can put your address in or your zip code, and they'll tell you who has it close to you. And it's really good, and the price was really good. I was really surprised. Hey Jennifer, how you doing? Like the emoji. And hey, Debbie. Bob says, we love the Hero tortillas for wraps and sandwiches. They seem to have the cleanest ingredients and aren't super full of fiber. And that's the thing about a lot of these is they will just stuff a ton of fiber in there so they can say that it's like one net carb. And that's why I don't do a ton of them. It really doesn't bother me, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad about recommending some of them to people because I just don't know what it'll do to your blood sugar. And that's why with any of these things that I do like that, the keto chocolate chip pizza, it's got that Duncan Hines cake mix in it. Those ingredients were actually a lot cleaner than I thought they would be. So I didn't really have a problem recommending that. It was basically almond flour and coconut flour were the main things in it. So I was really pretty surprised on that, but I believe it had some tapioca starch. And so with things like that, anytime you get into the processed ingredients, I would always recommend doing a glucose test, just a blood sugar test. And you can get those glucose monitors pretty cheap. I've actually got a few. I want to do a video at some point because I've got the Keto Mojo and I've got a ketone meter and different ways. So I want to do a video just kind of showing you how to check your ketones. and your blood glucose. And a lot of people can get the continuous glucose monitors now. Your insurance company will pay for them if you want to do that. And then you got kind of instantaneous feedback on what these things do to your blood sugar. But especially for diabetes and stuff, I always recommend if you ever try a new product, just take your, check your blood sugar, eat whatever it is you eat, and then check your blood sugar again an hour and then 2 hours later, and just see what it does and make sure it doesn't do anything crazy, because a lot of these things will, for different people, and everybody's different. That's the thing about it. And yeah, those the Hero, I was pretty impressed when I looked at the ingredients on that bread. It was pretty clean, so I was pretty impressed with that. 22 QK out Lynn says, I have a lot of respect for all you YouTube creators. You make it look so easy, but I know how much time and money you put into it. You're appreciated. Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, it's it's one of those things that, and I'll put all this in my video that I have coming out, but with my background in personal training and health and nutrition and herbalism and all the things, and that was a few years back, but just finding out what I found out back then, and then years later, when I really needed it, being able to go back and lean on that knowledge that I'd gained way back then, and it worked. I can't not share it with people, and I can't not share the recipes that worked for me. And if you like to eat like me, and that's why I called it Southern Keto, because the epidemic of diabetes in the country is the most prevalent in the Southeast, and it's because of the food we eat down here. And in my opinion, it's the best food in the country without a doubt. It's also the most unhealthy. And so when I realized I wasn't going to be able to stick to keto or anything else without being able to eat the foods that I enjoyed, and I started making all these recipes keto, I'm like, well, if there's anybody like me out there that really likes this food and not going to be able to maintain it, the lifestyle, without being able to have those foods anymore, then I just wanted to share that. And it's ended up doing pretty good so far. So got over 22,000 subscribers now, which is mind blowing to me still. I don't know how y'all put up with watching me all the time, but anyway, I do appreciate it. And y'all, it would blow your mind with the amount, because I get a report from YouTube every week on the amount of shares that I get, the amount of likes and comments and stuff that I get on here. And it's mind boggling to me what y'all are doing. So I appreciate each and every one of you, especially those of you that are tuning into this live, because you're taking time out of your day to come and hang out with me for a little bit and ask questions, or just, get together with the community. So that really means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. But yeah, Lynn, it is time consuming, but it is so worth it when, even one comment like, man, I really loved that. I mean, it's just, it's good for me to get comments like that. So, video from Andrew says, hey, I was just sharing some of your videos with a friend who's new to keto. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. And, the most daunting thing for a lot of people starting keto is, the first thing you hear is, well, you can't eat anything but meat and salt. I mean, how many people can stick to that? I can't. I can't do it. And, there's so many different things out there. But even if your idea, if your end goal is, hey, I'd love to be carnivore. Well, if you can jump right into carnivore, then that's great. But if you need to use my recipes of things that you like to eat and to get you to that, then why not? Right? There's no reason to have to try to jump in with both feet and, just I think the hardest thing for anybody to do is go from here all the way to here and be able to stick to it. It's so extreme. It's like quitting smoking or anything else. It's like, sometimes it's better to taper down. Hopefully nobody smokes in here, but I used to smoke a long time ago and I quit cold turkey, but um, a lot of people have to taper down off of it. Um, and it, it depends on the person. I mean, everything is dependent on the person. Well, how far carnivore you can go, how far keto you can go. It's just dependent on the person. So, but thank you for sharing those videos with your friend. Hero seeded bread is my favorite so far. So I'm about to try. I mean, like I said, I got that loaf of Hero bread. So, hey, Dr. Kara, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. You comment on all my videos, and I really do appreciate it. Sammy Jane Casper, hey there. Kathy asked if I just have one son. So, Kathy, I've got one son that just graduated high school, and he's starting college here next Monday, which is insane. But he's a little entrepreneur. He's a computer genius. He's going to school for AI, which to me is insane. I mean, I can't get past the Terminator thing. I watched all the Terminator movies growing up, and to me, when I see AI, that's all I can think about. But I mean, he's super, super smart. I also have a stepson that is older. He's married, and he works here locally, and so one day he's gonna get into keto. So neither one of them are keto now, and we don't push that on them. But my youngest son eats keto most of the time because we do. So we'll fix him little extra things like we'll make him some fries or whatever. But like he liked those keto fries, so he's I would say he's probably 75%. But I mean, I'm not gonna push on him. He knows where to go when he needs help, and if he has something come up that he needs help with diet, I mean, he knows who to go to. So not worried about that. Kathy says turnips, yuck, too strong a flavor for me. With your background of herbs, hibiscus tea to lower blood pressure. Yes, hibiscus tea is great. It's what they use, particularly in the Caribbean. They use hibiscus tea a lot. And actually, our local grocery store, well, not local, but we got Ingles Markets, which is kind of a southeastern brand, I'd say, but they have hibiscus flowers in the produce section. And hibiscus tea is good. And for the longest time, because I had an herbalism background, I would a lot of times suggest herbs versus diet. And when my blood pressure was out of control, I went back to keto. And just because of the clients I had in my personal training, not even knowing, I mean, that I know of, nobody was talking about lowering blood pressure with keto. At least I didn't read about it. But we did tests with all of our clients. So when they came in, we would do once a month. And it was one-on-one personal training. So, I mean, I got to talk to them every day. And they would come in, we'd do their weight. We would do their blood pressure. We would do their body fat percentage and things like that. And the ones that were eating what we call back then a bodybuilder's diet, which was really high protein, higher fat, and some carbs in the form of like low carb vegetables, green beans, even some asparagus or just low carb vegetables, just on the side, just for something a little different. But all the people that really did that, even when they came in the gym and they didn't really work out that hard, they had the best results. And so the correlation between the diet and the blood pressure, the health conditions, and weight loss even though they weren't the people that were working out the hardest in the gym, the people that were working out the hardest with us 3 days a week, but still going and eating all the crap, didn't have anywhere near the results that those people did. And I mean, they come in, they just want to more talk about things and, have like, a little bit of more social time. But, I'd always talk about diet with them, and what they did just worked. I mean, the ones that were following that the strictest, and not, maybe going off a little bit, but really following it, we're doing the best. And so, you could supplement with something like hibiscus tea, but I feel like if you do a low carb diet, keto, or even just low carb, I feel like that your blood pressure is going. I mean, it came down huge for me. And what I would do, for me anyway, and again, everybody's different, but I would do a good portion, 8 to 12 ounces of meat at a meal, and a pretty big salad. And I'd probably do that 3-4 days a week. And then every other day I would eat the recipes that I'm sharing with you on the videos. And I pretty much had a dessert just about every night. So, sugar free, of course, but I'd pretty much do that all the time and just make the dressings that I have done videos of. And I've got some upcoming too. I got to do 1,000 Island because this bread recipe is coming out, and people are going to want this Reuben recipe, which, making it the way I was talking about earlier, when you use the 2 sticks of butter in it, you're not going to put any butter on the outside. You just put it in the pan, you put your stuff on it, and you just fry it up just like that. And the moisture from the butter in it comes out and gives you the perfect sear on it. So you don't add anything to the pan at all, which I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, some people are going to say, "Oh, there's too much moisture in it." So then you use 1 stick of butter and you add your own butter to it if you want to. I mean, can't make everybody happy, but hey, I'm real happy about that bread recipe. But anyway, might have to show my 1,000 Island dressing recipe to go with that. Some people use the Russian. Well, I think traditionally the Reuben's made with Russian dressing, but hey, here in the South, we always got 1,000 Island. So that's what my wife has always used, is 1,000 Island. So I have to do that recipe soon. But anyway, so yes, anyway, back to the hibiscus tea. Yeah, that is a good supplement to have, and it's pretty tasty too. The other thing that was good with blood pressure, but not so good as far as sugar goes, was that beet juice. Beet juice, back for people that could have sugar, if they had blood pressure issues, I used to recommend that too, but I would not recommend it because it's just a bunch of sugar. You could do beet extract capsules, would be fine, but don't do the beet juice because it's just got, I mean, it's like total sugar. That's one thing they do in the US is most sugar is made from beets. It's not really from sugar cane. It's made from processed beets. So, there's a ton of sugar in there. Sammy Jane says, I wish I knew 30 years ago that I didn't have to go hungry to lose weight and reap all the health benefits. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because your body's going to let you know if you're eating, moderate protein, high fat, or even high protein, moderate fat. Your body's going to say, hey, that's good. I'm good for a little bit. And you can eat till you're full, if you're eating that. Fatty meats and you can do whatever you want, and your body will let you know when it's time to stop. Years and years, tens of thousands of years ago, hunters and gatherers, I mean, they'd go to they'd finally kill an animal and eat it, and they'd feast on that, and they might not be able to eat again for a few days. So your body's got that internal, memory that goes back a long, long time. Sam says, I can't just eat meat and salt. I've tried and succeeded it for like a month, and then keto comes back in. Yeah, I can't either. Sometimes I'll do like a day or two which doesn't sound like, I mean, for the people that don't like the lion diet, they ain't gonna be in here anyway because they're not gonna like me at all. Uh, but for those of us that live in the real world, um, I can I can challenge myself to do like a day or two. Like if I feel like I need a reset, like um, if we have a special like a family occasion or something like that, I will. I mean, I don't do perfect all the time. I mean, if we're around, the holidays especially, um, I'm not going crazy with it, but I'm going to have a little bit of what other people are having, and the next day I just get right back to it. I mean, I plan that like, um, I know if we got a family get together, hey, this day is not going to be great, but that in my mind, I plan that I may have a day that it's not going to be the best. The next day, I go right back to what I'm doing. And usually the next day, I'll go a little more hardcore. Like I'll do not just meat and salt. I mean, we'll have a little vegetable or salad or something too. But um, yeah, I can't even do it for a month. I don't think. Maybe I should try to challenge myself sometime and just like do all my uh, numbers, blood pressure, and blood tests and stuff like that, and just see if it makes a difference after a month. But the way I feel, I don't think it would. Um, and I think some people do need that, depending on how bad of health conditions you have and what you need to heal. But I think for the majority of people, you don't necessarily have to go that far. Kathy says our favorite treat is a handful of frozen strawberries, half a cup of cream, 4 or 5 ice cubes, a dash of raspberry skinny syrup, and some water to fill my ninja, and then blend it to make a fake shake. Hey, there ain't nothing like frozen strawberries. That sounds pretty good, actually. Raspberry skinny syrup. So you're doing a multi-berry smoothie. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Hey, strawberries and blueberries and blackberries. Those are some of my favorite things. And yeah, frozen. You're right. It's good. Barbara, fellow herbalist here. Well, hey, Barbara. So you know what I'm talking about with some of this stuff. Bob says, have you made a video telling how why you started keto? Yeah, Bob, I did. Let me see if I can look it up here and see what the exact title is. Bear with me 1 second here. Let's see. It was I believe it was a keto in the car. Let me just double check here. Let's see. I'm sorry. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to try to find it here. Well, I know I made it. I'm still going back. Let's see. I think it might have been the first keto in the car. Let me double check here. Yeah, it was called Why Did I Start Keto? Keto Diet Vlog Episode 1, my keto journey vlog. So it was my first keto in the car video. Let's see if I can share it down here in the bottom. Let's see. All right, there we go. It should be shared down there in the comments. Let me make sure it came in. But that was the one of why I started keto. Hey, good night, Paula. Appreciate you being here. And he says that's not true. I've been lying diet 682 days, and I watch you. Lying is what makes me feel best. Oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate you watching me. I really do. I don't know how you do it, but I mean that's awesome to me that you can do it. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching. But yeah, I didn't know you were total lion diet. I thought it was carnivore, but I didn't know you were total lion diet. I don't think. Kim says, hey, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Kim. You're just right up the road from me. We're halfway between Atlanta and Charlotte on 85. So Kathy, thank you so much. Nope, Joe says he's out of here. Time for 2 Crazy Ketos. So I guess they go live the same night. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to do these the first Thursday of every month, and every other Thursday I'm either going to do a sauce, a drink recipe, or leave me a comment down there what y'all would like to see on Thursdays. The meals are real time consuming. The desserts are pretty time consuming, but I feel like I could do a sauce or a drink video on Thursdays that would I'd be able to do pretty good. Bob, you are welcome. Yeah, I feel like I could do those. But if y'all have any other suggestions or anything like that for any videos you'd like to see or whatever, just let me know. Julie says Miracle Whip. Hey, I got you covered on that one. That one's coming. I'm gonna do that this fall for sure. Sauces, dressings, marinades. Okay. All right. Now, does anybody have any recipes that you really love that you haven't found a good keto recipe for? Because I would love a good challenge. That bread one was a challenge for me because I personally hadn't found any that I like. Now, I haven't tried them all. Don't get me wrong. Haven't tried everything, but I've tried the biggest majority of all the popular or what I feel are popular keto bread, and I just did not find one that I liked. So I challenged myself to make one of those. But yeah, if any of y'all have, because I can go back and see these comments later. And what you guys want to see is the videos I'm going to make. Because I feel like if you want to see them, then it's probably something I'm going to like. And it's probably something a lot of other people are going to like too. So please drop in the comments there, whatever recipes that you have that you haven't found a good, or whatever regular recipes you have or standard American diet recipes you have that you haven't found a good keto replacement for. Somebody had mentioned that cream chip beef a while back. So I was like, oh yeah, I kind of almost forgotten about cream chip beef because I used to love eating that stuff, but I didn't even think about it for a while. And it was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I feel like I came up with a good recipe for it. So Mary, I love being on my first live with you. Everybody's heading to 2 Crazy Ketos. Well, hey, y'all tell 2 Crazy Ketos I said hey, and I haven't watched them in a while, but I do like them. I think they do pretty good work. But yeah, tell them to hit me up. I'll come on their channel and I'd love to talk to them sometime. I feel like if a lot of us in this community can kind of get together, kind of like what me and Chris do, we're kind of, to me, like I said, there's always the spectrum of lion diet to dirty keto and somewhere in between. And I really respect everything that Chris does. And, I just think we can show people that there's a lot of us that, really have everybody's best interest in mind, however you get there. So, I'd love to talk to the 2 Crazy Ketos sometime. And, I'll go check them out in a few minutes myself. I don't know. I'm a Texan, used to eat like one, but I love meat, so lion is right for me. And I don't miss all the other stuff at all. Down 110 pounds. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, I did know 110. Yeah, 18 to go. But I mean, yeah. If you're in Texas, you got the briskets, you got all the steaks and everything down there. So I don't blame you. If I was in Texas too, I'd be eating all that prime beef myself. Here, it's a little expensive. Marissa says, hi, my first live. Well, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Barbara, have you tried Victoria's Keto Kitchen bread recipe using einkorn flour? No, the einkorn flour I'm not a big fan of. Blood sugar wise for a lot of people. I've heard various things about it, but to me, I just like to use in the things that I make. I like to try to use ingredients that you can find that are kind of readily available. I may have to give that one a shot sometime. Let me know if that's a good recipe that's not like a styrofoamy type, foam mattress type bread. If it's good, maybe I should give it a shot and just see how it does with blood sugar and everything. Let me know. Amiga says, do you have a turkey gravy recipe? Thinking of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I've got a good, I've got a couple recipes here. I'm going to link them here for you. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I got some gravies that are real good. So this first one that I got here. So this one's a white gravy. So I wouldn't say that's a turkey gravy, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. So this one is the one I would say, instead of using beef broth in this, so I use beef bone broth. Just use like a turkey bone broth or a turkey stock or a, well, come on. Nope. Hang on, it's limiting my responses. I guess it thinks I'm spamming. But anyway, as soon as I can drop this one in the comments here, I will. But yeah, you could totally use this one. I use a beef bone broth in it, but you could use even a chicken bone broth would be fine in there, or a turkey stock or turkey broth. That's not even gonna let me drop it in there. That's my darn stream. They're not even letting me do it, thinking I'm spamming or something. Anyway, if you will go, in case I can't drop this in for you, the video is called Irresistible Keto Brown Gravy Recipe. Irresistible Keto Brown Gravy Recipe. So if, yep, it's not letting me put it in. But yeah, if you'll just look that up, you'll be able to find it and just substitute in a chicken broth or chicken bone broth, whatever you got. Marissa says, I love your recipes. I got to your channel by Chris Cook in Nashville. Yeah. Yep. Chris is a good guy. We've become real good friends. We've done a couple collaboration videos together. If you hadn't seen them, he's got one on his channel where we did keto and carnivore manicotti. And then we did a keto and carnivore Philly cheesesteaks on my channel. So we've got those two videos together, and we're planning on doing some stuff in the future too. We've got a really cool idea that we're working on. Of course, he's on tour right now with his wife. They're doing a bunch of, he's a guitarist too, so they're doing a bunch of tour dates. They're traveling the whole country, which is awesome. So once they get back off tour, we got a video coming out that's going to be really, really cool. So y'all will enjoy that. I swear it does not let me drop this link in there. But anyway, Irresistible Brown Gravy Recipe. Just look that up. Guess it's not going to let me put any more links in for some reason. But let's see. Yeah, scared to try. Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. Yep. I'm in trouble with YouTube for helping us stay healthy. Thanks. I'll look up the gravy. Okay, good. I'm glad you saw that comment. I do want to mention this too. I was doing those keto in the cars for a while. And what I found is, and that's why I kind of want to start doing these lives, but I believe I'm going to do them once a month because I think it'd be better for everybody. I don't want to, mess up anybody's schedules. And after the poll I did today, I see that people would like more recipes. So I'm going to switch up the format a little bit, but I'm going to do these once a month because I enjoy, if nothing else, just getting to come on here. Even if I don't have any questions, just getting on here, being able to hang out with you and y'all, being able to comment and have our community going on here. So I do want to do them once a month. And, but anyway, when I was doing those keto in the cars, I found out that YouTube was limiting my reach like you wouldn't believe. Like nobody was seeing these videos come out. So, I mean, like a recipe video would be here on the amount of people it was reaching, and it would be here on those. So I'm not going to say much more than that, but just know that because I'm not a doctor, it's not conducive for me to do videos like that. It's more conducive for me to do maybe a live and I would love if there's any kind of conferences or conventions or anything like that. I've done so much research and study into big pharma, big food, all the things behind the scenes that you don't even know about, the high level involvement in things. I don't want to say much more than that. But I could do an entire talk on something like that. But I'm gonna have to limit that to like conferences or things like that. I just can't do it on YouTube because I'm not an MD, and it's just they're gonna throttle me back if I keep doing things like that, in my opinion. So I can do it on the live, and then when the replay comes out, you're not gonna see it either, just because of what I'm talking about. But if you're here live, you'll probably get to see it. You may never see a replay unless you search for it. So, but yeah, I'd love to do some conferences and stuff in the future, talk about things like that. One day I want to do a documentary because I've done so much research, compiled so much information on a lot of stuff that would just blow your mind. I've done some of those videos like that before too, that you can still search, but you're going to have to search for them. You'll never see them come up on your feed, I don't believe. Let's see. So anyway, all that to say this, yes, I'm in trouble with YouTube for helping you stay healthy. So I will say you've helped me getting into my journey. I have epilepsy. That's why I found out about keto. It's awesome to see recipes I never thought I could have again. Thank you. So, hey, comments like that are the reason that I keep doing what I'm doing, and I really appreciate it. I want to help where I can, and I feel like this is where I can help most in the world because this is what I enjoy. This is what has helped me. That's what I'm passionate about, and so I'm so glad that I can help you. And I mean, hey, you're the reason I keep doing what I'm doing. So all you guys, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the amount of subscribers and supporters I've got is amazing to me, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. They can't stop me from doing that. So as long as I keep doing recipes only, they can't stop me from doing that. So Kathy says a little thickener like cornstarch or flour, xanthan gum is just not thickening very good and kind of slimy to me. So I think the xanthan gum in that gravy recipe though, I don't use a ton of xanthan gum as a thickener per se, but like I use it in my ice cream, I use it in the gravy, and I don't feel like it's slimy at all. But what I will use as like a thickener to replace cornstarch, I use arrowroot powder, which has got a little bit of carbs in it. But again, the amount that you get per serving is negligible compared to cornstarch. And the corn itself, just the presence of corn for some people is too much. It it's an insulin response and a blood sugar response that some people just can't do. Um, so I would use arrowroot powder as a thickener if you don't like the xanthan gum. Cream of tartar is a good thickener in some things too. Which check your cabinets for cream of tartar if you plan on making the bread recipe. Cream of tartar, baking powder, and baking soda are in this bread. So, like I said, nothing too crazy. There's going to be no egg white powders. There's no nut flours. There's no seed powders. There's nothing. So I'm excited about this bread recipe for Saturday. If you can't tell, I've done tomato sandwiches with it. I posted pictures on my community tab. I've done peanut butter and jelly, just regular toast, Reubens, grilled cheese, French toast. So hey, it works for anything that you like. But it ain't a white sandwich bread, and it ain't a styrofoam. Truth matters. Many of us are informed, and we know what you're referencing. Yeah, you've seen people talk about it other than myself, I'm sure. Kim says, I found a platform today called Odyssey, less restrictive than YouTube. And we may all have to jump over there at one point, but I feel like as long as I do the recipe videos, everything's going just fine. But maybe that's a platform for me to go and do the other things I want to do and talk about things that I want to talk about that they're not letting me do on here. Kathy, thank you for all you do. I need to jump off. I'll remember the first Thursday lives. All right, great. Hope to see you here for that. And good night, Kathy. Rinsa, how about gelatin? Gelatin is great. Gelatin is really good. It just behaves differently in different things. I use gelatin like in my ice cream along with xanthan gum because I feel like the combination of the two together, especially in something cold like that, makes the xanthan less of a slimy thing like what Kathy was talking about. And so just the combination of the two together, I think, worked really well, more than just say one or the other. Truth matters. I just got here, by the way. I had to jump in when you're referencing that. Yeah. Truth is not approved. What's your feeling on black beans? Good for keto? No, black beans have a lot of carbs. The only bean that I would recommend, and I would use it very sparingly, is the black soybeans. And if you're not averse to soy, I would say edamame is okay. It's pretty low in carbs, but you got the phytoestrogens from the soybeans themselves. But the black soybeans don't have as much. And I actually did a video for that last year because the big thing in the South on New Year's Day is collard greens and black-eyed peas. And so I wanted a replacement for the black-eyed peas. So I did the black soybeans. So I feel like they're pretty good if you're craving beans. And also my buddy Chris Cook in Nashville, he does a carnivore bean that's really good that you could do also if you just got to have a bean replacement. But yeah, black beans to me are just too many carbs. But it depends on, again, what your macros are and if you can limit the portion of them. If you can have 50 grams of carbs a day and you can have a quarter cup of black beans and be good and stay in your macros, stay in ketosis, or you may not even want to stay in ketosis. You might just want to be low carb. So at that point, I don't recommend tracking macros, but if you're gonna step into like the black beans or anything with carbs in it, I would recommend counting those just to make sure that you're not going over, because it's real easy to do once you get into that. Thanks. You're welcome. Green beans just aren't the same. No, green beans are not the same. I mean, you could chop them up kind of small and kind of make them the same, I guess. But I like green beans. I'm a green bean fan. I usually do them with bacon grease, a little bit of slivered almonds, and more bacon grease. So, and some salt. So I like green beans that way. Oh, vinegar. Yeah, there you go. Lynn says, "Are you on Instagram? Seems like I've looked before and I can't find you over there." I am on Instagram. It's under, I think it's at imsouthernketo. But honestly, I don't ever get on Instagram. The only thing I do on Instagram is the same thing I post on Facebook and my Facebook group, the Southern Keto Carnivore Tribe, Keto Low Carbon Carnivore Tribe. I basically post the same thing on Instagram as I post on there, but I don't really interact on Instagram at all. I don't put out stuff specifically for Instagram. So if you're follow me on Facebook or if you're in that Keto Low Carbon Carnivore Tribe, which is linked, it's linked down there in the comments too, or in the description. And that's really the place I want people to go, where you could share other people's recipes too that you like, or anything like that. So that's getting to be a pretty good group now. So I'm enjoying it, enjoying seeing other people's recipes posted, and people post their before and after pictures and things like that now. So it's getting really cool, which is why I started in the first place, because I wanted people to have a place to go without judgment, where you can just go and share whatever you wanted to. Now I've made it private, so you have to ask to join. But that also means that you don't, if you're from a vegan family and they just hate that you're carnivore, you can post in there without fear of it coming up on your main Facebook feed and them seeing it or whatever, because some people just don't want that. So it's a place where you can go, and it's totally private now, so you can go in there without fear of your vegan friends telling you that you should stop eating meat. And Kim says, "I use bacon grease a lot too." Lynn, yep, don't want to miss anything. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, everything, if you're on the Facebook or the Facebook group or both, it's the same stuff I post on Instagram. My main thing is YouTube, and so that's kind of what everything points back to. But so I share everything I share in the community tab on YouTube. I also put in the Facebook group and on Facebook too. But the thing I like the most about the Facebook group is anybody can post in there, unless they're getting crazy, and then I'll boot them. But anybody can post anything in there, and that's a place where everybody can talk and communicate within the community that I'm trying to create here, where you can't necessarily do that on YouTube. I hope they have that coming. I have voiced that to them, to have like a community page, and they're actually doing some testing on that. So if that ever comes to fruition, I'll probably not do as much on Facebook and just do it there. If they'll let people go in and post their recipes and stuff, because I don't want it to be all about me, because it's not all about me. I've got some recipes that I love and enjoy, and I want to share with you. But if you got recipes from other people that you like, I want you to be able to share those in there too, because somebody may be looking for that recipe, and it may not be something that I offer. So that's what that page is for. So if you join that, if I get requests after I'm off this live, then I'll go in and approve you if you want to get in there too. Yeah, everybody should have a bacon grease. Bacon grease is it's the cheapest, because it's free. If you buy bacon, you got free bacon grease. I've got the little silver container I keep on my stove that I will drain my bacon grease into and keep it and use it to cook with. We just cooked some burgers with it earlier tonight. So, I've been making hot bacon grease dressing. It feels so indulgent on a big salad. Hey, that sounds good. I need to use bacon grease in a dressing. I don't think I haven't done because I always use avocado oil or olive oil on all mine. Tell Tell me more about that. I might want to make that for a video myself. Or if not a video, at least make it myself to use. Yeah, Sav says interested too. I'm a new sub. I made a couple of your recipes. Well, thank you, Vivian. I appreciate it. And yeah, let me know which ones you've made. And I've got a ton of stuff, and I got a ton of stuff coming. For the few, I think there's 26 people still watching. Everybody abandoned for the two crazy ketos, I guess. But so what I got coming up, let me just tell you here. Let me pull up because I've got a lot of these saved. I'm gonna tell you what I've got coming up on my videos in the near future for you. So I've got the thing I made just day before yesterday that I'll have coming out probably in a month once apple season hits is a keto apple pie. I tried it last year. I wasn't quite happy with it, but I did a good one this time. So I'm gonna have that one coming out. I've got a bruschetta video, which I made some of the Philly cheesesteaks I did with Chris Cook in Nashville. I had some of that bread left over. We made it one night, and I had some left over. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this leftover, which is not the same bread I got coming out on Saturday, by the way, but it's kind of a cheese bread, kind of standard keto type cheese bread. But I was like, what am I going to do with it? So I did a bruschetta because I hadn't done a bruschetta in a long time. So I got that one. I got a chicken parmesan coming out. I've got a Cocoa Pebbles breakfast cereal type thing coming out. The keto fries. I did a honey chicken. I don't know if any of y'all are not, y'all are not old enough to remember the mall and when you could go in the mall and there was a food court and all that. But one of my favorite things to do is go in the food court. You go by the Chinese restaurant and they get the little pieces of chicken on the toothpick. The honey chicken, the sesame chicken, the bourbon chicken. And I mean, that's some of the best stuff in the world. So I did a copycat of the mall food court sesame honey chicken, which is killer. I got that one coming out. That uses my keto honey recipe. I'm working on another keto, like a deep dish pizza, kind of using a variation on my bread recipe that I got coming out. I hadn't quite perfected it yet, but my idea was I've got an outdoor pizza oven that gets up to like 800 degrees. And I'm trying to come up with a pizza crust that you can do in a pizza oven like that. So that's kind of what I'm working on there. Some different kind of deviled egg recipes. So got a lot of good stuff coming out, hopefully. So anyway, truth matter, bacon grease, vinegar, a bit of water, coarse ground mustard, salt and pepper, a bit of sweetener. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. I have not made that though, but sounds like I need to work on that. Because I'm gonna be doing some sauces and dressings and marinades and things like that on Thursdays. So that sounds like a good one. Mega says, "Oh, like to know what brands of brands of bacon everybody's buying. I've been doing Hemplers. It's so expensive these days. What else is there?" Amiga, if you've got an Aldi near you, and I know I'll wear this out in all my videos, but I feel like Aldi, for the prices and the quality they have, I mean, I feel like they're the best around. But their bacon, just their regular cheap bacon, which, by the way, I've got a short coming out tomorrow with all the keto Aldi deals of the week. I'm going to try to do that every Friday for those of you that have an Aldi close to you. But they've got their bacon on sale for $3.99. And their bacon, to me, with the microwave bacon grill that I use, it's the crispiest bacon. It's got a good amount of bacon grease, but it comes out perfect every time. Never had a bad batch of it. Some of those, even like some of the expensive, like the Hormel Black Label, and a lot of the more expensive ones don't have, to me, the quality or at least the texture that the Aldi one does. So you don't find me having anything other than that Aldi bacon. I won't buy anything else unless it's super cheap. But let's see. Yeah, yum for real. Yeah, I got to try that. I got to try that dressing. Let's see. Oh, the ribs. Yeah, that rib recipe is a good one, I think. Oh, one more thing while y'all are on here. Leave me a comment down there if, because I want to do some easier recipes this fall. So let me know if you would like to see more like instant pot, more air fryer, or slow cooker, crock pot type stuff. Because those are the three things that I think save a lot of time and are real easy to come up with in the kitchen if you're in a hurry. So let me know if you'd rather see more instant pot, more crock pot, or more air fryer stuff. And so I can go back and read all these comments later. Even people that watch this after the fact, if they can find it after what I've been talking about on some of this. Let's see. Oh yeah, the bacon dressing sounds amazing. Applebee's used to have a hot bacon dressing I love. Never knew how to make it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that, Amy, and I'm gonna try to make that. And truth matters. I appreciate you telling me about that. Getting bacon from the butcher shop. Yeah, I use it from Aldi. I just can't. I can't not do it. Of course, I don't have a good butcher shop near me anymore either. People just down here just won't support it. I've got one in the the big town over from me, but it's an hour to get there. So I just feel like that Aldi is that's just the best to me. Lynn says, "Oh my goodness, if you make a really delicious apple pie recipe, I'll love you forever, guaranteed." Yum. Well, I think it's really, really good. So hopefully you'll love me forever. Amy said, "Love the samples at the mall food court." Yes. Yeah, I'd keep going by there until they recognize me. Uh, back in the day, it was so busy. Like, Friday night we'd go out, hang out at the mall. I mean, we had an arcade to go to. People would just hang out outside. I mean, it was a whole thing back then. And you could go by there and grab something. And then once they start looking at you a little funny, like, oh, I better not go back and get another free sample. But yeah, I mean, you could get an entire meal just on the samples back then. I love breaded fried whole mushrooms. Broke down and bought some for a treat. Yeah, I don't do enough with mushrooms. We eat them a good bit. So I need to look at that too. Honey chicken, yes. Yeah, you'll like this honey chicken. You can either use my keto honey recipe that I made, or you can buy some. They sell it on Amazon. They've got a keto honey that you can buy. I forgot what the brand is. It might be Wholesome Yum or something like that. Something Yum. Anyway, I had bought it before, but that's when I decided to make my own when I realized how much it cost. Because you buy a couple of those, and you can buy some real good steaks for that same price. But yeah, that'll work just fine in it too. Thanks, Drew. Don't have Aldi's here. I'm trying to find no sugar bacon with no sugar that doesn't break the bank. And honestly, amigo, with the amount of sugar, because they do cure it in sugar, but once you cook it, you're not going to have hardly any residual sugar in it. Look it up, do a little research on it, but you're for the whole pack of it, your carbs are going to be nothing. Like even if you eat the whole pack, so it's cured in sugar, but you're going to get very, very tiny amount of residual sugar in there. Was it take you out in no Gwendolyn? Yes, Aldi shopping reviews, please. Yeah, I'm trying to do shorts on Fridays, and I didn't do it last week because I didn't get to Aldi. But yeah, I'm trying to go in and do all the deals. I went in there today to buy some ingredients, and so I did some filming while I was in there. So I will have a short out tomorrow with the deals that they got this week at Aldi, and there's some good ones. And before I put that video out, go in and stock up on the $3.99 8515 ground beef grass fed that they got in there. That's a little heads up before they sell out. But that video is coming out. I'll have that short out tomorrow sometime, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock. Yeah, man, you wearing out Aldi. I'm so jealous. No Aldi out here in New Mexico, and they don't plan to. Wendell, all I can say is you need to move. If you ain't got an Aldi, you need to move. But no, I wonder if you got I think it's called Lidl or Little, Lidl. It's another European type grocery store. They may have those there if they don't have the Aldi. So try that out. I don't know why. I mean, Aldi's going to be all over the United States before long. It seems to be. I thought I saw them in every state, but I don't know if I saw New Mexico or not. But I looked it up for somebody, and it was like a 3-hour drive, which it ain't worth it to save the little bit of money and drive 3 hours. But I'm pretty sure they have them in every state. Just may not be close to you, but they may not have them in New Mexico at all. Amy says, love Instant Pot recipes. All right. Crock pot. Don't have an Instant Pot or air fryer. So Wendell says air fryer. So I do have an air fryer. I forgot about that one to tell you. I've got an air fryer video coming out. I had another one. Listen, I get sponsorship. Well, not sponsorship, but people want to send me products to review and stuff. I get 1 to 2 a day. Somebody sent me a recliner. They want me to try the recliner, and I'm like, how am I going to fit into this? I don't even sit hardly unless I'm doing these lives. I don't sit down. But I did have an air fryer that was pretty interesting because I did that Tyfer one, but Tyfer is kind of expensive. So I had another company reach out to me, and they sent me an air fryer. This half the price of that worked really good. And I used the Ninja, the dual one, for years. But that Tyfer blows everything out of the water. And this one is second over my Ninja. So my Ninja is going to end up going to the camper. This is going to be my backup one for smaller stuff. If you got limited space, it's good. But I did an Indian butter chicken because somebody had asked for that a while back. So I did a butter chicken in this new air fryer. So that one will be coming out pretty soon too. So there's an air fryer recipe for you. JC views, I know you're Southern, but do you have any Spanish keto ideas like homemade corn tortillas? I haven't done any corn tortillas yet. I have done like a Chipotle video. I've done tacos. I've done several like Mexican recipe type things. I haven't done any corn tortillas yet, but maybe I need to work on that. I just buy the at Aldi. I buy their keto tortillas. I feel like they're the best. I use those for foldovers. I use it for my keto chocolate chip pizza. But maybe I should come up with a corn tortilla. Lynn says, I love all those Instant Pot and Crock Pot especially. So y'all want to do some of those. Kim says, vote for the Instant Pot. So it looks like Instant Pot, Crock Pot, and air fryer. So the first one I got coming out is definitely that air fryer one because I've already filmed it. And it's a really cool air fryer. It's got like a built-in temperature probe, which was what was most interesting to me because I've had 6 or 7 different crock pot or air fryer companies email me. And the only one that I even wanted to try was a Tyfer one and this one, and only because it has an app and it has a built-in temperature probe too. So you don't have to worry about overcooking or undercooking meat, which I think is cool, especially if somebody's just starting cooking. Because you can really screw some stuff up if you put it in the air fryer too long. I mean, you can ruin a steak in no time. If you're trying to make it easy in an air fryer, and if you're just starting to cook or something like that. So I'm real picky about who I'm going to talk about in videos. I know some people make their whole channel on product reviews and stuff, but I mean, if I don't like it, I ain't going to review it. I mean, I've had clothing companies and recliners and all kind of different keto products I didn't like the ingredients on. So I'm not going to review them. So I can tell you already, I don't like you. But anyway, if I do find things I like this this Lewis Bread Company, if they were ever talk to me, I like their bread. Let's see. Do a community survey, but I like air fryer and slow cooker. Okay. And the thing about the slow cooker, the crock pot, if you've got an instant pot, you can use that as a crock pot also. So the crock pot recipes would also work for instant pot, and slow cooker instant pot recipes would work for the crock pot too. So you can kind of interchange those, slow cooking. Instant also, if not wanting crispy that day. Yep, air fryer. Lynn said people don't seem to use their crock pots much anymore, but I sure do. I'd never part with it. I get it though, because now we have instant pots and air fryers. I use all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, Lynn, you can use the instant pot has a crock pot setting too. So like, a lot of times I'll do the chili recipe that I did last year. I'll do it. We'll take our instant pot camping, because a lot of times I'll make boiled peanuts, and we'll also make the my chili recipe. So I can use the chili, I can use the instant pot as a crock pot to make that chili one day, and use it as a pressure cooker to make the boiled peanuts. So, so yeah, you can interchange those. Slow cooker instant pot. Good to know about baking sugar. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, check it out. Just do a little research on that about the but you'll find that the and I'll just put a disclaimer in here too. Anything that I tell you, always go do your own research. But I've done a lot of it for you. But I don't want anybody just to take. That's why I don't put macros in my recipes. People ask for macros all the time. I just ain't gonna do it, because I've made recipes in the past from some of the big YouTube people, some of the recipes online, and the macros ain't even close based on the ingredients that I use. So just know my recipes with my ingredients are going to be low carb, but the macros with the ingredients I use may be different than the macros with the ingredients that you use. So, but I'm not going to put out a recipe that's not low carb. I may make an exception in the future, because my Nana had a 200-year-old fruitcake recipe, and I always make it around the holidays for my family. Last year, I think I ate one piece of it, but I always make that. So I may do that in the future, but that's probably the only recipe I ever do, just because I want to save that for my generations to come. Because I feel like YouTube will be around forever, and they'll be like, well, who's that? Who's that crazy Southern Keto guy, great grandpa? And, by then that recipe will be 400 years old or whatever. So I may do that. But other than that, everything I make is low carb, keto. But if somebody's tight and they only got 4 grams of carbs left over for the day, and mine happens to be 6 grams, I don't want to screw you up. So use Carb Manager or something like that to do it. Anyway, that's a tangent. I'm sorry. But anyway, I was just saying, yeah, check out the sugar in bacon, but it cooks all the way out. Oh, New Orleans. Okay. I didn't get that, but New Orleans. Y'all got some good food down there. I can tell you that much. JC View. What are you drinking? I got coffee, and it's probably a little too late for me to be drinking coffee right now. But I had a job today where I did. They've got 8 houses in all. I did 5 of them today, so I was a little tired. I knew I had to do this live, so I figured a little coffee would be good for me. And especially after I ate dinner, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna get me some coffee. But this is they had New England blueberry coffee on sale at Ingles today, so I got some of that, and it's really good. And just a little bit of heavy cream in there, and a little bit of the Magic Bakers. And I got to edit a little bit more of my shorts tonight, so I'm gonna be up for a little while anyway. So when I get sleepy, I'll go to bed. But it'll be a while. I got some work to do. Trader Joe's and Sprouts for different kind of groceries. Trader Joe's is really good, and Trader Joe's, I've got one about 45 minutes away from me, so I go there occasionally. The Aldi's 8 or 9 minutes up the road from me, so I go there most. Yeah, recliner review on a cooking channel, Lynn. Lynn said, yeah, that's funny. So let me hang on, bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna read you what they said here, if I can get to it. I think I deleted it. Hang on a second. Well, anyway, I might have to find out for another time. But anyway, they basically said, we think you'd be a good fit for our channel. We think that your viewers would really like this recliner. And I'm thinking, what in the world? I mean, how am I going to implement that in one of my? Am I going to cook like laying back in the recliner? I mean, that'd be a video that nobody's done before for sure. Maybe I could use the Instant Pot and the recliner together. I don't know. Hadn't figured that one out yet. Why I would be a good fit for a recliner commercial, but whatever. Truth matters, I have Aldi in every direction. There's 6 within 15 miles. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've got 2 in my town. One of them's 8 or 9 minutes away, and one of them's probably 15. And I only go to that one when they're out of stuff at the other one. Yeah, make snacks and sit on your recliner. Maybe I should make snacks in the recliner. That may not be a half bad idea. I don't know if they'd go for that, but I think if I could cook and sit in a recliner at the same time, that'd be pretty cool. And watch football. I can make football snacks sitting in the recliner in the Instant Pot. That'd be a video. See what they say about that. I'm not going to do it. Amy says, I love fall soup recipes. Yeah, I got some plans to do some fall soup recipes coming up. I didn't do enough of them last year, but I'm going to do a French onion soup for sure because that's my wife's favorite. Now that I got good bread that'll hold up in it, I'm going to do that. And I did a killer clam chowder one last year that nobody saw because I didn't have that many people subscribe. But I may remake that one because it's just an awesome recipe. But YouTube had no idea who in the world I was and who this crazy Southern Keto dude was and who to show my videos to. So nobody saw that one, but it's a killer recipe. It's one of the best recipes I think I've ever done. But nobody saw it. So maybe I'll do it again. But yeah, we'll definitely do some like maybe a cream of broccoli or I did the condensed cream of mushroom soup recipe last year too, that you can turn into a cream of mushroom soup. Just add some more heavy cream to it. But I came up with my version of that so I could make green bean casseroles and, all the casseroles that we love down here without all the seed oils and all the crap that's in the, the MSG and everything that's in the Campbell's. So cabbage roll soup or broccoli cheddar with bacon. I'm coming up with some good ideas here. I can definitely do a broccoli cheddar soup. We like that. We've made that before. Talk about lazy keto. You're in your recliner. Yeah. Yeah, something tells me they may not like that idea so much, but in order for me to use that in one of my videos, I'd have to cook in the recliner. So I think I just have to do it, but they ain't gonna go for that. All those standard American diet eaters have to go veg out in the recliner after they eat that big meal. That's right. French onion soup, yum. Yes, we're doing that. We are doing that. Well, if y'all got any questions, please ask them real quick. I've been on here for a couple hours, and see if it'll let me post this link again. Nope, it's not gonna let me post that gravy link. It's just been sitting down there. They're not gonna let me post anymore. They're cutting me off for the night. So, but yeah, if y'all got any questions, ask real quick. If not, I'm gonna jump off here in just a minute and let y'all go over and see the 2 crazy ketos, I guess. Maybe I'll jump on there and watch them for a minute too. I don't know. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, they must have a limit on how many how many links I can post on here. I guess they didn't like me talking about them too much. Which noodles would you use for chicken noodle soup? I'm getting farm-raised chicken, so good. I would either use the shirataki noodles. You can find those. I can find them at Walmart. And they're in the produce section, kind of in the refrigerated section. The only thing about them, they got kind of a weird, like fishy kind of taste. You got to take them out of the pack and rinse them off. But once you sauce them and everything, you really don't notice it. Or my favorite really is the palmini, and it's made with hearts of palm, and you can find that in Walmart also. I know Aldi has it sometimes, or they got a different brand of hearts of palm pasta. Those are really my favorite, probably noodles. But just word of caution, those shirataki ones, if you do those, just make sure you rinse them off real good. It smells like straight tuna or something. But if you rinse them a little bit, they're okay. So I would say if you can't find those heart of palm ones, I would do those. But I'd say my top choice is going to be those palmini ones. And if you want to make some yourself, try Chris's noodle recipe. It's really good. Over Chris Cook in Nashville on his channel. He's got a noodle recipe. Just a little more labor intensive. If you want to find something in the package, try to find hearts of palm. Just Google heart of palm noodles near me, and somebody around you should have them. Particularly in the big city. I mean, I'm in a smaller town, and I can find them here. So we can do that. Are you making French fries? Yes. That French fry video should be out in the next week or two. So I did the keto French fries 2 different ways, so you can figure out the way you like it the best. But nothing goes with a good hamburger like fries, and that's a good recipe. So it wasn't my recipe. I didn't come up with it, but I tested it 2 different ways. I did modify it because I can't leave well enough alone with recipes that are out there. A lot of times I always feel like something could change for the better, so I did add a little bit to it. But yeah, that one will be out here in the next, I would say within the next 2 weeks. That French fry one's going to be out. So, all right, guys. Well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. And you can always go back and add comments in here later on after this is over. And, I will go back and read everything that comes in later and answer them in the comment section also. So yeah, y'all have a good night. And hey, Lizette, you are very welcome. Oh, truth matters, I've only been doing keto for a few months, down 25 pounds. That is awesome. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the recipes. Yeah, Lynn, thank you for being here. Lizette, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Wendland, thank you for being here. And I'm just typing here. Whoa. So yeah, thank all you guys for being here. And we will do this again the first Thursday of September, 7:30 Eastern. And again, if y'all watch this on the replay, put your comments in there, questions in there, and I'll answer each and every one of them. So thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good night. And don't miss this bread recipe on Saturday. Go to the grocery store, get all the stuff. If you don't have the psyllium husk, get that. Maybe the only thing you have to find. Y'all have a good night.